In the back of the book segment tonight, say goodbye to Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and say hello to gays serving openly in the military. Well, today President Obama signed the landmark law overturning the policy imposed during the Clinton presidency.
I say to all Americans, gay or straight, who want nothing more than to defend this country in uniform, your country needs you, your country wants you, and we will be honored to welcome you into the ranks of the finest military the world has ever known.
So does that mean that our commander-in-chief believes that it's time for some American colleges and universities to stop their discrimination against the troops by allowing, of course, ROTC back on campus? Harvard, Yale, and Columbia have expressed interest in reconsidering the situation. Joining us now from New York is Ellis Henican, a Fox News contributor. Okay, Ellis, so first of all, Merry Christmas. Great to see you.
Same to you. Same, Laura.
Okay, so the president argues, and he was successful in this endeavor in getting Don't Ask, Don't Tell repealed. Okay, so he said, look, that was discriminatory, and we can't do that. Okay, so now we fast forward to today, and college campuses that still ban recruiting on campus and still ban full participation of ROTC on campus. Isn't it time that those schools, stop discriminating against the military that they said they have nothing but the highest regard for?
Well, I think it's fine if any of those private universities want to establish ROTC programs. No problem at all. But I certainly don't think they have any obligation to, Laura, any more than they would have an obligation to have a truck driver training program or a police officer training program.
Here's the
difference. It's fine, but you don't have to do it.
Here's the difference, though, Ellis, is that by the good graces, the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears of the U.S. military, folks at my old alma mater, Dartmouth College, or Columbia, or Harvard, or Yale, they get to learn and teach and work at these esteemed institutions. And they're protected, and their security is protected. How can you say that our own military should not be given free access to do what every other organization does? Every other company and organization can do on campus. That is why people hate the elites, because of that snobby attitude.
That's simply not true, Laura. I mean, there are many organizations that are not invited to set up programs on campuses. And the fact that we live under the freedoms doesn't mean that every single institution in our society needs to be in the soldier training business. You know, Laura, there are a lot of ways.
No, Ellis.
There are a lot of ways we can serve our country besides carrying a gun.
So there is an animosity toward people in uniform in a lot of these elite institutions.
Maybe.
Would you agree with that?
Well, there is some, as there is against a lot of other people in institutions. Sure, there is prejudice everywhere, no doubt about it.
So when they said, though, that oh, well, we are just opposing the military recruiters in ROTC because of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, they were being disingenuous then. The schools that don't allow access, they were being disingenuous, were they not?
I'm not sure how you can say that. My analysis of it is that there were several reasons they didn't want them on campus. And that part of it was Don't Ask, Don't Tell. There is some anti-military feeling like you talk about. There are some policy differences. There were questions about the academic standards in some of these ROTC programs. And most important of all, there's
they
a
hate
judgment.
The military.
No,
that's the point.
No. Well, listen, there's some of that anywhere. But there's a judgment and a reasonable judgment. I think you would agree that some institutions could say, hey, listen, we want to teach English and history and literature, and we don't want to be in the soldier training business. Why on earth do they have an obligation to do that?
You're killing me here. There's no soldier training, okay? No, the school is not training. The school is not doing training itself. The ROTC folks who come on and they hold ROTC on campuses just like all these other groups do.
They teach a lot of stuff like that,
Right, and they're treated like second-class citizens currently at Harvard University, where students have to take a bus and go over to MIT, God bless MIT, where they can fully participate in reserve officer training, corps.
And
that is ridiculous, and it's the elites versus the rest of the country once again. They prove themselves to be totally incapable of treating these people with respect. It's abominable.
Laura? MIT teaches all kind of things that Harvard doesn't teach, and you know what? People who want those courses go to MIT, and people who want to study the other stuff go to Harvard.
Okay, so
I get the idea
Don't
that
Ask,
it's fine
Don't
to
Tell
have it.
was a total phony issue.
I think you keep saying that.
Yeah, it was phony. It was a ruse the whole time. They didn't want them there. They don't like them. They don't like their values. But Ellis, I like you.
It was, and I love you too, Laura. And I'm going to ask and tell anytime we see each other.